Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher Ritchie. It makes it kind of a Kleenex Sunday, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's a perfect song for our topic today, which is the value of diversity, which fits so nicely inside the month theme of community. Because I have this sense that the answer to all of our problems in the world lies in our experience of unity and not our separateness. That's what I think. I mean, it's just my idea. But unfortunately, I think in society around me, what I seem to get as a message is that we're more interested in our separateness than in our unity. And where I get that from is, well, from television. And, I go to television for my spiritual education. And there I see what it is. There's where my prayer work is. That's what's up for me to deal with, And I watch television and I get this sense of my group is better than your group. And, your group is wrong. And I'm challenged by your group and what your group thinks, and I can't really accept your group. And really the way my group does a thing, that's the only way to do it. And it would all be better if we were all just the same as my group. And we don't just see it on television. I can't just pick on television. We see it in neighborhoods, and we see it in faith traditions, and, well, I see it in myself, that low tolerance for differentness. And the problem is it just doesn't match reality because it's not an either-or world. It's more both and. It's a paradox because we are different and yet we are the same, and there it is. I'll never forget, a friend of mine told me a long time ago, he said, have you noticed that when you go into a supermarket on the shelves, there are all these different brands? Have you seen how many different brands of crackers there are on the shelf? So I went to go look. And there are garden crisps, orchard crisps, and sociables, and vegetable thins, and bacon thins, and chicken in a biscuit, and Ritz regular, and Ritz whole wheat, and Ritz cheese, and oat thins, and wheat thins, and low salt wheat thins, and nutty thins, and multi-grain thins, and reduced fat wheat thins, and better cheddar low salt, and Triscuits, and rye Triscuits, and garden herb Triscuits, and wheat bran Triscuits, and snorkels, and Mr. Phipps, 3 varieties, and Tata Crisps, 3 varieties, and Snackwills, and Wheatworths, and Premium Original Salt, Low Salt, and it goes on. And the interesting thing is if you go to these products and take them and have a look at the packaging, almost always it says that their ingredients are enriched flour or whole wheat, processed water, and spices, and then some variation. And I got it. There it is. From the same comes the different. Different emphasis, same constitution. All of this. Conclusion. Some of us are more salty than others. Some of us get stale if we don't close ourselves up every now and then. Some of us are just wonderful and mixed with about anything. Some of us are packaged to look like we're not like inside. But we're all made up of the exact same stuff. We're made up of the big everything, you might say. Then we get to look at them and say, that one? He's my brother. Just comes from a different box. That one's my sister. Another brand completely. And my cousin over there, Phew. Different emphasis. I wish I had known that when I was growing up in South Africa, which is a country that has been tormented by its emphasis on separateness. It used to even be legislated. Discrimination was part of the law, and they even had their own word for apartness. It's apartheid. And that's actually how you pronounce it. It's not like Americans say apartheid. No, it's apartheid. Like the word apart plus the word hate. That's what it sounds like. And it's always served to remind me of the terrible perils of apartness, hatred, and fear. Not that thinking oneness has been easy. I've had to really think it through. How can we be one? I mean, all I see are the different boxes on the shelves everywhere I go. How do you handle it? I mean, I guess on the obvious level, human beings are made out of the same stuff, enriched flour, water, and salt. Meaning we've all got hands, we've all got footses and eyes, we all get that. But deeper, going deeper, on a deeper level, basically we're made out of the same stuff. Human beings are made out of cells and atoms, or ultimate stuff. That's what Ernest Holmes called it, ultimate stuff. And he said that in the beginning, when God created everything, there wasn't some kind of like cosmic Home Depot or builder supply to go to. The only available building supply was itself. Ultimate stuff. Isn't that a miracle? We are made out of the ultimate stuff. And the result is all this product on the shelves of creation. All of it. All of it. And then looking deeper, past the cells. Well, I read somewhere that when you really look at the basic building blocks of physical nature, well, it's not really physical at all. It tends to be made up of spaces and something that resembles intelligence. How'd you like that? I mean, I'm no scientist, but I love that because, one of our synonyms for God is intelligence. I love to think at the very core of our physical being, we are made up of God stuff. Intelligence, even though most of the time looking at us from the outside, it doesn't look like that at all. And still, this phrase, we are one, oh, how it challenges me. It challenges the world, because I can argue with we are one based on any little thing. I mean, it could be the color of somebody's hair. It could be the culture they come from. It could be that I don't feel like they're willing to listen to me. It could be I'm not feeling like I'm willing to listen to them until they agree with me. And a lot of the time, what gets in the way of my experience of oneness is I think they don't understand me or I don't understand them. And sometimes I think actually understanding is the problem. Thinking that I have to have understanding, otherwise I can't have oneness. And I was thinking of that because I remembered a 19th century actress, Helena Modjeska, who was extremely popular because of her ability to communicate emotions. And she was doing this dramatic recitation in Polish, her native tongue, to an English audience. And by the time she was done with the recitation, the reading, the audience was sobbing and in tears, moved. And little did they know that what she was reciting in her native language was something like the alphabet or the phone book or something. It was a demonstration, an illustration of drop the barriers, stop insisting I need to be understood, and feel there is a bridge between us. And a bridge to the world of divinity around you. Worship that. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, in the textbook says, an evolved soul, that's you and I, an evolved soul is always a worshiper of God. And do you know what worship means? Worship means to revere and adore and to have ardent devotion for someone or something as if it were God. Okay? So we are worshipers of God. And then our faith says God is the great everything, showing up as itself everywhere. So then if I, evolved soul, am a worshiper of God, then that means I get to adore you. I get